Okay, today I'm doing a video that I'm very excited to do, and we're going to look at the drought monitor. We're going to go over it region by region, so you can see your specific area and how it's going. First, we're going to start in the Northeast. So you can see there's some patches of abnormally dry in Maine, New Hampshire, New York, Pennsylvania area. There's not really any drought. There's a little moderate drought between Vermont, or New Hampshire and Vermont, and then just a little bit in upstate New York, and then just a little bit of abnormally dry sprinkled around. So not any major drought at all. Okay, the next region we're going over is the southeast. Similar to the northeast, there's only one little patch of moderate drought, this time in southern Alabama. There's a little bit of abnormally dry North Florida, Florida Panhandle, and Alabama Panhandle, as well as areas around Alabama, parts of Georgia, and parts of North Carolina are abnormally dry as well. Now we're going to look at the Midwest here. The Midwest is the first place we're looking at that has some real drought problems right now. You can see that there's this belt just south of Chicago running through from Missouri, where there's abnormally dry, into Illinois, where there's a little bit area of severe drought, but mostly just a big patch of moderate drought, and that moderate drought patch extends into Indiana. And then abnormally dry in southeastern Michigan and northwestern Ohio. Northwest Wisconsin, big area abnormally dry, as well as almost all of Minnesota, as well as some moderate drought here in northern area, northwestern and northeastern areas of Minnesota, as well as some extreme easterly parts. In Iowa, we have some extreme drought in the northwest, part of the state, as well as some severe drought in the northwest part of the state. Some moderate in just the western part of the state, and just moderate in the west part of the state. And that's about it for the Midwest. Next, we're going to look at the South, and they have a pretty bad drought going on in parts of it as well. Or is it South? I don't know. Southern Plains, I think it's called. No, it's just the South. Okay. So here we go. In Tennessee, it's a normally dry for most of the state. Mississippi, in northern Mississippi, there's some areas of moderate to severe drought, as well as mostly abnormally dry. Southern Louisiana, we have some areas with moderate drought. And Arkansas, looking pretty good, except for a few areas that are normally dry. Oklahoma, most of it's pretty good. Some western parts of Oklahoma have some western parts of Oklahoma having some problems, as well as some areas in the western panhandle. Texas is the big loser out of these three. Big area of South Texas, where you have moderate to severe drought, even some extreme drought. And then here, West Texas, just a big area moderate, big area severe, huge area of extreme, and then some small areas of exceptional drought, including El Paso and other places in the panhandle around that. I should probably not use red for this. I'll use this bluish color. Okay, now we're getting into some real big drought concerned areas here. Next, we're going to look at the northern high plains, and basically everywhere in here has drought. The entire place has drought. Here in North Dakota, it's moderate if you're in the northeastern part of the state, moderate if you're in the southeast part of the state, and severe if you're in the northeast part of the state. South Dakota is a little bit better. You're mostly moderate, small bits of abnormally dry in the east part of the state. And the west part of the state, we have a small bit of moderate drought over in here, and then a little speckle of severe and extreme drought way at the southeast corner of the state. Nebraska here. this state is right here. You probably know where it is. Okay, thank you. Going away. Most of it, everything's covered moderate except for a little bit of abnormally dry here. Parts of the west, and most of the southwestern parts of the state, south and western part of the states are moderate here, or severe to extreme. So not good right now. Kansas, southern part, you're good. Northern part, you're moderate. And in the northwestern part, you're extreme. Colorado is looking the worst out of all these states. Western Colorado, past that line, is pretty much all exceptional and extreme drought, which is not good for the Colorado River and the Rio de Janeiro and the other rivers that start in this area. Just not good for the flow of those rivers. And as you can see, the rest of the state does not fare much better. Extreme drought in the western part of the state, basically extreme everywhere, except for a little bit in the north here, and some areas down here in the south. Wyoming's a little bit better. In the southeast part of the state, and southwest and completely west part of the state, you're only around severe to moderate drought. Still not good. Severe drought in the northeast too, but in the middle, extreme drought. So not looking very good in those states, and it's just going to get worse. Southwest is next, I believe. Oh, no, it's just the entire rest of the west for some reason. And if you're wondering, big storm in California has not taken effect yet because the data was collected from Tuesday. So a lot of the rain that fell yesterday and today is not accounted for in this drought map. So we're going to look at New Mexico first, just awful drought conditions. Basically, everywhere is severe. Most is, and just this little patch here is severe. Everything else on all sides is exceptional to extreme. Utah is all exceptional to extreme. Colorado and Wyoming are in there twice for some reason on two different ones. We already went over those. Arizona, not looking too good at all. Exceptional drought, all extending from the north to the south. So extreme everywhere else, basically. California is not good, but it's looking much better compared to these other states. We have Central Valley is right here. That's severe to extreme drought, which is not good. The southern coast is moderate to abnormally dry. And then the southern Sierra into the Mojave Desert is extreme into exceptional drought. Nevada, southern Nevada, all exceptional. Everywhere else is basically extreme except for this northern part, which is mostly moderate and severe. And this part, mountainous terrain, which is severe. Cascades in Oregon not faring too well. Basically all extreme drought on the east side of the Cascades, mostly severe drought, some moderate drought, and some abnormally dry. And then on this side, the further north you go, the less drought there is. So it starts out as severe, goes to moderate, down normal, and then nothing. Washington's looking a lot better than it did, I'll tell you that. It looked more like Oregon and California when this water year started, but just a little bit of drought remaining in the Cascades, some severe moderate drought. And then here in Idaho, a little bit of bullseye of severe and extreme drought. Everywhere else is mostly abnormally dry, a little bit of moderate on the southern side, but not too bad compared to the states around it. Montana, in the east part of the state, you have a lot of severe drought, as well as some moderate drought. And then southern area, you have more moderate drought, and then the rest is abnormally dry, with a little bit of clear. Now we're going to go look at the main map of Drought Monitor, and I'm going to explain these numbers. I mean, those letters. So those letters indicate ecological effects on, as for the reason of the drought. So you can see here in Vermont, that severe drought patch, that's going to be actually long ecological effects. They're going to span several years. I believe that's what that means. Yeah, there's short-term impacts typically less than 6 months, and the long term is typically greater than 6 months. Hydrology, ecology, things like that. And SL means there's bad things. But so that's just long. This little patch here is short and long effects. The south is all short term. Southern Texas is short term, but then this entire area is short and long effects, which is not good because in the west you don't get a lot of rain precipitation as it is, and when the short and long term effects, that can damage the hydrology of the area and the overall ecosystem. It's not good. And then up here we just have long term effects, which is probably because the drought has been going on for a while. It's probably long term effects because the drought has been going on for a while, but short term, just for that. I forgot to go over Alaska, so this is what we're going to go over now. Just scattered around abnormally dry. You're doing pretty well in Alaska, Aleutians Islands. There's nothing there. Just gonna look at Hawaii. We don't have to zoom in there. Some of the southern and northern places of the Big Island, and then on Maui, we have some moderate, severe drought, as well as that island, which name I can't remember. And then, and then just little bits of moderate and abnormally dry, so maybe some severe on most of the islands, and most of them are short effects, but on Maui, Molokai, Oahu, some other smaller islands, there could be some long-term effects too, as long as we got it. So it's only Maui that's short. Puerto Rico, use some areas, use Virgin Islands, moderate. 2 are moderate, 1 is short term, abnormally dry, and then here it's short term, moderately dry as well. The Marshall Islands areas, Micronesia, there's 1 island that's really bad, short, long. Mariana Islands, there's 1 that's normal. Marshall Islands, there's 2 that's severe, and that's it for this portion of the video. Now we are going to we're going to compare the last 2 weeks, see how they changed, and all that good stuff. So here's how they changed. It didn't change much. Let's see if I can find any changes. Drought in Mississippi got a little worse. The drought in Arkansas got smaller. Drought in Texas, Oklahoma got worse. The drought in Arizona got better. There's less area, but in Nevada got worse. Nevada got worse. So it switched for some reason. Let me change that. There we go. Now it looks good. So Arizona got a little exceptional, got a little bit smaller, which is always good. There wasn't really that much change, but we'll look for next week when there's going to be I feel like there's going to be a big change here in California. I feel like a lot of areas in the south central part of the state, southern Sierra Nevada, the drought might go completely away from the amount of precipitation that fell. And that's, what's this comparison? We're also going to look at this comparison slider. Wait for it to load. Yep. Well, it's not going to load. So that's going to be the end of the video. Oh, nope. No, it's not. It's here. So you can move this slider, and it shows you how it changes, I guess. Oh, yeah, look at that. So, oh, that's cool. Okay. See parts of Arizona, see how that drought went away. Not a lot of other areas that it changed much. if at all. So, yeah. So, yeah, not a good drought outlook for the West. Really bad, actually. And then it's a good drought outlook for the East, bad for the West. And what I also like to look at, the map archive here. And I like to look at from a year ago. So January 26. No, we can't do that. It has to be 25th. Nope. 27th? 24th? I don't know what day it was. Can I just go a year ago? I'll just scroll. Let me scroll. 2020 zooming by. And this is about when it was last year, and look how much different that is. There's almost no drought in the West. There is some drought here in Arizona, same place as it was, but barely any drought, which is amazing how much the drought changed in 1 year to me. So that's going to be it for the video. I know this was long, 16 minutes and 39 seconds. Hopefully you made it through. If you did, hope you enjoyed. Share it with family. Share it with friends. Hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff. That's it.